Fox News is so desperate not to talk about the absolute train wreck that is Kank's second term that they're now talking about Barron's sex life. Play the clip.
Brought her back to Trump Tower. He shut the whole floor down at Trump Tower just so he could be alone. One of his classmates said this: he's tall and awkward, but he was the thing, the guy. He had a lot of girls running after him. Another said he's a ladies' man for sure. He's really popular with the ladies. He's tall and handsome. A lot of people seem to think he's pretty attractive. So imagine a guy brings you back to Trump Tower and the whole floor is shut down.
If the guy's a Trump, that I would believe it. And I know a lot of people are probably going to want to criticize him, that he's being a prima donna, no pun intended there. But he obviously did for security reasons. The security needed to sweep the floor. They shut down the floor. But man, this guy's got game. I mean, 6'7", and he's got a whole floor at Trump Tower for a freaking date. I hope something good came out of that date. I mean, I'm not going to say what.
Something not too good.
Dessert.
Not too good.
Really
He needs to wait.
Homemade dessert.
Okay. So that's how bad it is on covering this administration, because every week, Pumps, Trump commits impeachable crimes, selective prosecution, disobeying court orders, et cetera, et cetera. It's insane. It's utterly insane. They're talking about Barron's sex life. And here's the thing, it hits hard in their base. If they would have talked, if anybody were talking about the Obamas or the Biden's kids' sex lives, and they were younger like this, freshman in college, sophomore in college, Fox News would be all Bible thumper, all sanctimonious. They would lose their fucking minds.
Well, you know why? I thought the same thing. They think this is just a knee slapper because for Barron Trump as a male, him getting ass is a good thing. If it were a female daughter, she would be a slut. But just the sexism jumped off the page to me. And I also thought, isn't it interesting that Jesse Waters is just so crazy about Barron Trump? I mean, he's just like lavishing all this praise on him.
Anytime Jesse Waters talks about men and talks, he gets, to me, kind of gay excited. He talks about men sucking on straws and licking on ice cream and masculine stuff, and masculine men don't Photoshop. Here he's talking about Barron getting laid. He's super excited about that. I personally get a gaydar ping. I think Jesse Waters is a DL demon queen. I think he's one of the leaders of the DL demon queens. I think if we looked at his Google search history, I think it would be very fruitful in confirming my hypothesis. Moving along. Here's Fox trying to cover the Hegseth shit show. And that was just, you guys, that was one of the lowest points, if not the lowest points for the United States military ever. Absolutely. To have a Secretary of Defense who is so stupid and so toxically masculine, that he is so insecure that he goes up there and grandstands about fat people and beards and haircuts and woke, and he wants to bring back hazing and bullying. It was disrespectful, and it was dangerous to every single person that has devoted their life. These are serious people that are very serious about code and honor, duty, and all of these things. And I also think, this is just an aside, but like, have you not seen A Few Good Men? Like, they stand up for the kid that got bullied. They stand up for justice, that's wrong. But anyway, play this clip.
I tread carefully. I didn't like the televised part of this because it reminded me of something that might happen in China or North Korea. I didn't mind Secretary Hegseth, whom I know and consider a friend, doing what he did. But I have to say, if I were an adversary of the United States, and obviously I'm not, but if I was watching this, I'm not convinced that I would be more fearful of the United States, or for that matter, wanting to be more like them.
Of course, you're not going to be fearful of the United States. This is what he's doing, is a gift to every adversary we have. It is the face plant. What Pete Hegseth did was American weakness. Look at how insecure we are. I have to prove to everybody that I'm such a big boy, because we all know that he's probably got some issues somewhere. His mommy had to go on Fox News and vouch for him.
Right.
And he's a grown ass man. He's been married 95 times. He has a bunch of baby mamas. All the tropes that they would use against Black people, never gets applied to these MAGA men that do all of these things. And I don't give a shit how many kids you have. I don't give a shit how many baby mamas you have. But the Fox News racists sure do anytime it's a black person. But when it comes to these white men that either are impotent, they can't get it up, or quick shots, or teeny weeny, something. There's something, because this is not a normal manifestation of masculinity. This is a toxic, compensating manifestation of masculinity.
I completely agree. And number one, he gets up there and says, I'm the Secretary of War. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that is so stupid. And here's the deal. They live streamed it because they knew it would hit hard with the base. Every single report I've read coming from the military about this was horrified, feels weaker. And our adversaries know. All the smart leaders, he's fucking fired, because and now they're giving, polygraph tests and all that because they want loyalty to Trump. Our military is as weak as it has ever been. I am 100% convinced of that.
Okay, next up, they're freaking out about Bad Bunny. And here, let's just go ahead and play the video.
To be clear, I think it's absurd because the Super Bowl is a monument to America. It's a monument to our excesses. They took the football, something we all loved, and turned it into a pop culture, like kind of the epicenter of pop culture for the year. You get the commercials, you get the halftime show, you get the celebrity sightings. So yes, in an ideal world, the celebrities would speak English, okay? And that's where it's a problem. The game is in San Francisco. They should have a San Francisco act.
All right. So the game's in San Francisco, and we all know the halftime show is really for
Okay,
the women.
let me just say, I just think these guys are the biggest bunch of pussies on the planet. I mean, could you imagine being a conservative and navigating your remote control? I mean, you're pissed off at Stephen Colbert, triggered, terrified. Jimmy Kimmel, oh my God, he's not funny. And you make this big, 95 tweet vomit about it. And now Bad Bunny, who does speak English, you dipshit. And that guy, I don't think he'd qualify to be in the military right now. Just FYI. I don't know how good of when Hegseth went on his anti-fat brigade, I don't know how that's going to fit in with the base, because I saw the crowd at January 6th and it didn't look like a fit and trim crowd to me. So I don't know if the gravy seals are just going to roll over that or what the thing is. But this is just racism. Conservative men are such terrified titty babies. They are so scared of everything. And the manner in which they express their fear always is kind of breathtaking to me. Their disdain for something or their dislike. Like, I don't like mega churches. I don't really go to them. I don't watch all praise service. I mean, we did make a t-shirt on our merch site, boycott mega churches, because I do believe they are incubators for this bullshit. But like, why do they give a shit about Bad Bunny? Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. And then they, Jesse Waters, well, we all know the halftime show is for women. The sexism and the racism, it just jumps off the page. And I guess the only answer is their viewers like it. They like it. All right, now let's go to Moses Mike, the little pipsqueak of the DL Demon Queens. And he said something on Fox that I think is true. So play the clip.
Speaker Johnson, you have a very, very, very narrow majority. Mm-hmm. At a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that the Republicans build on this very slim majority next year?
We're going to win the midterms, absolutely. We're going to have a big victory, and I think we can expand that majority so we can keep going. We have to give President Trump 4 years and not 2. Imagine if the Democrats took over the House, they'd impeach him.
They're getting ready for the investigations. They're already ramping it up. Exactly. Speaker Johnson, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, I hope they would. And, okay, whatever he says, I just want to revisit that Moses Mike had a roommate, and he was this evangelical preacher. And when Moses Mike came home one day, the evangelical preacher who's in D.C. to try to advise Congress people to be more Jesus-y and make sure they get Christian nationalism into the law, this guy answered the door in his panties. So I researched who was funding this guy, this evangelical preacher, and this car dealer in Nashville is funding Moses Mike's roommate, this big Jesus freak, big Bible thumpers, right? The guy in Nashville, in his divorce proceedings, Pumps, you may remember this, it was revealed that his ex-wife put in the divorce decree that the husband made her watch gay porn with him. man-on-man gay porn. So all roads just constantly lead to Moses Mike being a DL demon queen. And this guy is the biggest liar on the planet, that he wakes up every morning and goes out and says, the Lord this, and he's, praying for people. He's so full of shit. All he does is kiss Donald Trump's ass and juggle his fragile ego. And then I guess he goes home and his boyfriend answers the door in his panties and they do gay stuff the rest of the night. It's just unbelievable that these are the people we're going to lose our country to. And here's the thing, viewer, I would have empathy for anybody in the closet living in a red state around a bunch of evangelical people that are hateful and cruel and like to demean people for sport, like to be bigoted and racist for sport. I have a lot of empathy for any gay person surrounded by this white supremacist evangelical thing. But if you wake up every day and you're in Congress and you go and you bully and you vote against something that you inherently are, I say out them all.
I completely agree, because the hypocrisy, his wife runs a conversion camp. That's straight up abuse. And I think the reason he talks about it so much, and he has conversion camps, and he has to have his son be his accountability partner. He is eating ass.
He is eating ass. There's just no question about it. We have MAGA has a DL demon queen problem, and Grindr outages have proven
They
this.
follow him.
So we all know that these Black people provide a permission structure for white racists that watch Fox News all the time to think, oh, I'm not racist. I like this Harris Faulkner. So let's hear her reporting here.
Look at that. A lot of love and a powerful tribute to Charlie Kirk during Saturday's game between Penn State and Oregon. Thousands of fans wearing Charlie's now iconic Freedom shirt to honor his legacy and carry on his message.
Charlie's spirit lives alive here in the kinetic energy of this moment. It's a spiritual moment, it's an awakening, and it's a revival here in America. You strike Charlie down, you'll just make his message stronger. And the moral and good people of America know that, and we are ready to take up the charge.
So here's the thing. That's Benny Johnson, and that Harris Faulkner was 100% lying. A few people with Benny had on Freedom T-shirts to honor unrepentant, deceased, racist Charlie Kirk. But they made it look like the entire stadium was supporting him, which is false, because they all wore white shirts for a white out. So there was only just a handful with DL Demon Queen Benny Johnson. But I want to ask you this, Pumps. Psychologically, do you think these demon queens, they do so much gay stuff after hours and in the mornings, and they're trolling Grindr and doing all this shit? Do you think they think, okay, if I make the country Christian nationalist, then I'll ultimately be forgiven because I can't help all this gay stuff that I'm doing. And I know it's a sin, but I'm going to deliver the United States of America to God. Do you think maybe that's the bargain they're saying, the Moses Mikes, the Benny Johnsons, the J.D. Vances, the Josh Hawleys, all of the DL demon queens that we've identified?
I do, but I also think that every time they do all this stuff that they feel so much religious shame about, they're like, God, please forgive me. And so they think they're forgiven, and they think I can do it again and again and again, because there are never any consequences, because they think all they have to do is say, oh, forgive me, da, da, da. But Harris Faulkner, Charlie Kirk talked about your race as a woman.
Totally.
And you're teeing that up. How humiliating.
Her and that guy, the Black guy in the morning.
Yeah.
That sits there and they're just sitting around participating in the overt racism from this news organization towards Black people. And it just, it offends me, and I'm a white woman. It offends me so much that they sit there and they don't blush, and they don't feel that, and they don't stand up for their Black family members, for Black people in this country, that they allow and provide a permission structure like that. It is so gross. Harris is gross, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is. Lawrence
something. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, for money, for power, how do you lay your head on the pillow when you betray everybody in your family.
I think it's the same thing like Clarence Thomas and J.D. Vance, because he has the brown wife and the brown kids. There's just this self-loathing that even, it's crazy to think this, but I think sometimes even Black people can be white supremacists because they were raised in the structure and they want approval so bad from the structural that they got rejected from. And so they think, okay, if I go play with them, then they're going to like me. And here's what I have to say. Black people are a million times more fun. I know a bunch of stuffy, crusty, white, patriarchal fuckers. They're not fun. They're boring. Nobody likes them.
I completely agree. And these people are, they just sit around. They love this shit. They love it.
They do. All right, that's all we have for this episode. Please like, subscribe, buy our book. Pumps, where's our book?
Here it is. Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches.
Buy it. Good, nailed it, Pumps. Stuck the landing.